Human language, one of the most remarkable abilities that sets us apart from all other species. But how did this extraordinary capability emerge? How did the first humans communicate complex thoughts, emotions, and ideas? This journey will take us deep into the origins of human language, a story that spans hundreds of thousands of years. Before spoken language, early humans communicated through gestures and body language, much like our closest living relatives, the great apes. These hominins had no structured language, no words to name the animals, plants, or the stars. But communication still existed, embedded in actions and expressions. Over time, our ancestors began to experiment with sound. At first, these sounds might have been simple imitations of nature, calls mimicking the roar of a predator or the rustling of leaves. These vocalizations, though rudimentary, were the foundation of something far more complex: symbolic communication. There are approximately 7,000 languages spoken around the world today. However, the exact number is difficult to determine, as languages are continuously evolving, and some are endangered or even extinct. Determining the oldest spoken language is challenging because spoken languages predate written records. However, several ancient languages have existed for thousands of years, some of which are still in use today in various forms. Thousands of years ago, humans communicated without words, using gestures, grunts, and basic sounds to express simple ideas. As the need for more complex communication grew, so did the beginnings of language. These early humans used their bodies and sounds to share crucial information about survival, how to hunt, gather, and protect their tribes. Over time, simple sounds became more specific and organized into the very first languages. With the rise of ancient civilizations, languages evolved further. In places like Sumer and Egypt, humans began recording their languages with writing, creating systems like cuneiform and hieroglyphs. Writing transformed language. What was once only spoken could now be recorded and passed down across generations. Civilizations flourished, and languages became more sophisticated, giving rise to literature, law, and philosophy. As human societies continued to grow, languages like Greek, Latin, and Sanskrit became the vehicles of knowledge, education, and culture. These were the languages of scholars, poets, and philosophers, languages that shaped the world's intellectual traditions. These classical languages influenced cultures far beyond their original borders, spreading ideas and laying the foundation for modern science, art, and thought. As trade and exploration expanded, so did the interaction between languages. Travelers and explorers carried their native tongues across continents, mixing languages and spreading new words and ideas. Through trade, migration, and conquest, languages mixed and evolved. This process created new languages, such as Swahili on the coast of East Africa, born from the blending of Arabic, Bantu, and other tongues. Language became the thread that wove the world together. And now we arrive in the modern age, where languages continue to evolve in ways we could never have imagined. Technology connects us instantly across the globe, and languages borrow from one another more than ever before. In today's world, languages are evolving at lightning speed. Words from one language quickly become part of another, and new forms of communication, like emojis and internet slang, are shaping how we speak. From the first grunts and gestures to the sophisticated systems of writing, from the philosophies of ancient Greece to the global languages of today, language is constantly evolving. It grows, adapts, and reflects the world we live in. While languages like Sumerian and Egyptian were among the earliest written languages, Tamil and Greek are some of the oldest continuously spoken languages. Of the living languages, Tamil and Sanskrit stand out for having an ancient heritage that dates back over 3,000 years and has left a profound impact on culture and literature. The world is incredibly linguistically diverse, with languages distributed unevenly across different regions. Countries like Papua New Guinea alone have over 800 languages, making it one of the most linguistically diverse places on Earth. While thousands of languages exist, only a small number are spoken by large populations. The top 10 most spoken languages in the world, by number of speakers, include Mandarin Chinese, approximate 1.1 billion speakers. English, approximate 1.1 billion speakers, including both native and second language speakers. Hindi, approximate 600 million speakers. Spanish, approximate 500 million speakers. Languages belong to families that share common origins. For example, Indo-European, which includes languages like English, Spanish, and Hindi, and Sino-Tibetan, which includes Mandarin and Cantonese, are two of the largest language families. Many of these 7,000 languages are endangered, with some having only a few speakers left. It's estimated that about 40% of these languages are at risk of disappearing in the coming decades due to factors like globalization, urbanization, and cultural assimilation. Languages die when they are no longer spoken as a native language by any community. The process of language death can happen gradually or rapidly, depending on various social, cultural, and political factors. The most common way languages die is through a language shift, where a community stops using their native language and adopts another one, often due to social, political, or economic pressures. Example: if a small indigenous community gradually starts using a dominant national language like English, Spanish, or Mandarin, especially in schools, work, and public life, the younger generations may stop learning the indigenous language, leading to its eventual disappearance. When parents stop teaching their children the native language, it breaks the cycle of passing it down through generations. The reasons for this can vary. Parents may believe that speaking a more dominant language offers better opportunities for their children in terms of education and employment. The native language may be stigmatized or viewed as inferior, leading families to abandon it. Example: in many communities around the world, younger generations are encouraged to speak global languages like English or French, causing indigenous or minority languages to die out. Colonization historically played a major role in language death, as colonizers often imposed their language and culture on native populations. Globalization further accelerates this trend, as dominant global languages become essential for economic, political, and social participation. While many languages are at risk of extinction, efforts to document and revive endangered languages offer hope for preserving this critical aspect of human diversity.